I don't think that Draymond needs clinical evaluation. I think that Draymond actually knows what he's doing. I think he did it on purpose. Now, I think in that moment, I don't think he thought that it was going to be that egregious. But at the same time, because you have a history, I think he needs to sit down a little longer.
This is like controversial, and I don't think I ever like shared it publicly, like on my page or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But for me, I felt like I was doing all of those things and it wasn't helping. Like it helped a little bit, but it wasn't helping. And it got to a point where I had to like take an antidepressant.
Yeah.
And I felt I don't know, I feel like I still feel a little bit, not shame, but.
For taking an antidepressant?
Yeah. Even though I know, especially now being on the other side, like I know that, you know, you got to take care of yourself. Yeah. And sometimes you might need a little bit of help, but I just never understood it. I'm glad you're on. See, look, I'm glad you're on my. I'm glad you're on my side with this one because what? I would have been side-eyeing you like, baby. Now, you know, you did not come up like that at your church. I'm not going to say the name of your church, but you know, they did not act like that up in your church.
Not like that. Surfing. I mean, there was some things, but not like that.
There was some things, but not that type of thing.
Not like this. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Real Cozy Talks. I'm your co-host, Ty, my lovely wife, co-host, Nella. And you're back to tune in to real topics, real views, and real cozy vibes.
Yep.
Before we get started, you know, I got to let you guys know, please like, please subscribe, but most importantly, please share the video. Your support goes a long way. Like I said before, we're glad to have you guys on this journey with us, and we're just having so much fun doing this.
I know. I'm having a lot of fun. A lot more fun than I thought I would have had. Not saying I didn't think I was going to have fun, but I'm having more fun than I anticipated. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Plus,
I second all he said. Yeah.
Exactly. Something new for us, and we just, you know, feel good to get outside the comfort zone.
I know.
And to get right.
Yeah.
But without further ado, what we sipping on tonight?
So, we have some Cabernet Sauvignon. And we actually tried this one when we went to a winery in Seattle. We didn't buy it from there, but we tried it for the first time at this winery in Seattle. We had so much fun. Definitely hit up Washington if you ever have time. And if you have time, definitely hit up that winery because we did like a little igloo experience. And it was just so cute. It's called Chateau Saint Michel, by the way. But it was a really good experience. Pricey, but good nonetheless. But it was only pricey because we made it pricey though.
For sure.
But still, great experience. Definitely recommend. We gotta do a toast.
Yep, let's toast.
Cheers.
Cheers to episode 3.
Cheers to episode 3. Alrighty. You know I gotta ask.
Woo.
You know, I gotta ask, gotta jump right in. How are you feeling in the new year? Like, how did you step into the new year? What's the vibe? What's going on?
I'm feeling good. Set some goals. One of the main goals to retain information faster so that I can move faster.
Mm-hmm. You mean your work as a designer?
Right. Okay. But just overall too, just learning new things and just trying to like be uncomfortable a little bit to change and grow so that I'm not stagnant. You know, so It's basically how I'm approaching the new year, especially 2024. I'm approaching this year like that.
Yeah.
I did like that in 2023 a little bit, but I'm going to be more aggressive and be more accountable.
Yeah.
This year. You know, what about yourself?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not really a new year, like, you know, goal setter or anything like that. So I don't have anything pressing at the top of my mind that I feel like I got to accomplish or I'm doing so good at this so far. But I do always walk in with this like refreshed feeling. And same, it ain't nothing different. I'm feeling really refreshed, really optimistic. And I just feel like it's going to be a good year for me. Like, I don't know. I just have that feeling. Like I'm in grind mode. I'm working hard. I feel like my brand is going to do really well. I feel like I'm going to get a promotion at work. Like, I just feel like all good things are going to come. I feel like the kids are just going to be their best selves. I don't know. I have a good feeling about this year. Lord, make it happen. Make all my wishes come true.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Can I get an amen?
Amen. All right, man. So let's talk about some real ish. Let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about mental health. And mental health to me is important to talk about because you can never talk about it too much. It usually is taboo type of subject.
Yeah.
But I believe that it needs to be talked about more because a lot of people are going through it more and more every day. So managing your mental health is very important.
Yeah.
So in terms of mental health though, I know for guys could be a little different for women, but how do you manage your mental health every day? And what are some things that you put in place to, try to be on the forefront of how you operate on a day-to-day basis?
For me, because I have experienced depression before. Wait, do you think I should kind of like give a little background on like, I guess my experience, or do you want me to just talk about
you can mix it up a little bit, just tell your story or just tell a story if you want to tell your story, or
I'll make it quick. Okay. Because I don't want to be long-winded.
Right.
But just to give background on why I do the things I do, I guess. So I never imagine myself experiencing like any kind of like depression or like, I feel like I'm naturally anxious, but not to the point where I couldn't function.
Right.
Or not to the point where I ever thought it was a problem. But a few years ago during the pandemic, and I kind of touched on this a little bit already in the past episodes, but I experienced depression for the first time. My doctors say like they think it might be postpartum, even though Jaden was after 1, it can hit at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what was going on. I just remember feeling like I knew something was wrong when I did not want to get out of the bed. Like and I know you remember I stayed in the bed for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And once I got to like that 4th day, I was like, oh nah. Like I gotta call my doctor immediately because this is not okay. Like I felt numb. I didn't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about this without crying. At least I think I'm not gonna cry. Cause when I used to talk about it, it was so sensitive that I would cry. But now I'm like, I feel like I really like overcame some okay.
Right.
But I just recall feeling like so numb. Like seeing my kids didn't make me feel like happy. Not saying I didn't love them, but don't you know when they like come home from school or daycare, you feel like, oh, you're home. I didn't feel that. I felt like, okay, well, let me just pick him up because he wanted to be picked up. I didn't have that gushy feeling. Like the emotion just wasn't there. It was like I just checked out. And I was like, it got me scared. Like the only emotion I could process during that time was like fear because it was so new. It was something I had never experienced. And I think that if I would have talked about like my feelings before it got to that point, I don't think it would have ever gotten to that point.
And to be clear, you say you didn't experience it with Malachi, but you did with Jaden.
No, I did not experience this with Malachi. With Malachi, I experienced the baby blues, but that's not uncommon. Like a lot of women will feel down like roughly 2 weeks or so after they have their baby.
Right.
And they'll feel like, oh my God, it's depression. Not saying it is or isn't, but there is something that's called the baby blues. You get it. It's quite temporary, couple weeks, and it phases off. This was different.
Got you.
This was something that I was really like, I just was not myself. I just remember feeling like anything would be better than being on this earth. That's how I felt.
Oh man.
That's how I felt. Like, I did not feel like, oh, I would kill myself, but it made me more empathetic to people who do have those thoughts. Like, I was always like, empathetic towards people who struggled with those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But because I felt so like I didn't really care about anything or about being alive, I guess, I'm like, I could see why people would get to that place. And that's what kind of like made me, I don't know, scared feeling. I don't know.
You? Most women go through this, am I assuming?
I mean, some women, I won't say most, but I think that maybe some women go through it and don't even realize that they're going through depression after
Gotcha.
having a baby because you nonstop, you don't have no time to process your feelings. But to that extent, I don't know, but I know it's uncomfortable and I know it's not fun. And I'm just glad that I'm not at that place. I remember feeling like, dang, I'm never gonna feel normal again.
Yeah, I can only imagine that.
I felt like it went on for a while. Like I tried everything. Like to answer your question, you said like, what do I do to like kind of make sure I'm staying on top of my mental health?
Right.
I do various things. I'm not always like the greatest at putting things into place, but I think I do a lot better than I would have before. So like something I picked up a lot is journaling. Like I journal a lot. I just write out my feelings. I do. I do. Sometimes I'll journal twice a day because I got to get my little thoughts out. But yeah, no, I like journal, making sure I'm staying active, getting sunlight, like little stuff like that. Exercising.
Yeah.
Talking to someone.
Right.
Instead of like holding it in.
Right.
And then for me, I know that this is like controversial, and I don't think I ever like shared it publicly, like on my page or anything like that. But for me, I felt like I was doing all of those things and it wasn't helping. Like it helped a little bit, but it wasn't helping. And it got to a point where I had to like take an antidepressant.
Yeah.
And I felt so, I don't know, I feel like I still feel a little bit, not shame, but.
For taking an antidepressant?
Yeah. Even though I know, especially now being on the other side, like I know that, you know, you got to take care of yourself. Yeah. And sometimes you might need a little bit of help, but I just never understood it. I'm like, I can empathize with you, but I never understood it for myself. Like I can't see myself getting to a place where I need medication or anything.
It could be that taboo thing.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know nobody that took any antidepressant or anything, and like within like a few weeks, I was like, oh, I'm back. I am back. But I did not want to take it. Like I tried everything. And I remember my doctor looking at me like, girl, you'll be back. And I'm like, this lady has no faith in me. I'm going to the gym. Like, what you talking about? Like, I'm going to go work out. I'm about to be fine. But I think because I had let it stay inside of me so long and didn't share it, I feel like my nervous system was just jacked up.
Do you think some of that is mental?
Yeah.
In terms of like the antidepressant and things of that nature, like just a mind shift, a mental shift to, I guess, want to be
kind of like the placebo effect where you taking something. No, I think it's definitely something chemical. Okay. Like I can feel it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
I could definitely feel a difference in taking it, and it wasn't like some mental thing.
Got you. Because like for me, it's funny that you mentioned the talking piece, because like I know for most guys in a sense, but I speak for myself, the emotional piece of it all and like sharing emotions and talking or just sharing thoughts is a bit taboo, because a lot of times we're afraid that certain information about us can be misconstrued or used against us in a sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of tarnishes our mental health in a sense, because it's something we think about. Even though we're looking to talk to people, it's also like trusting people as well with just certain information, and just expressing how we feel, or just being emotional about certain things where we've been taught to, like, you know, man up, or, you know, you got to be the strong one and things of that nature, which I do agree with that to a certain extent. But I also believe there can be some balance.
I can see that. Like, I think there definitely needs to be some balance, because I feel like I know you touched on it a little bit briefly in the last episode, but you kind of shared that you had a period where you felt depressed because you weren't at the place where you wanted to be in life, and things just weren't aligned at that time period. But I feel like I didn't know you were going through that.
Right, exactly. And that's just an example of what I mean in terms of just having the mental illness, in the sense to where you're bottling in everything.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to express it, or you just haven't had the best practices to express it in a sense. So, you know, you end up kind of like just winging life. And then after a while, though, it kind of hit. you can't bottle up after a while.
Yeah.
You know,
because you definitely let it out that day. So the last episode, I had asked him, like, tell me about one time that he cried in his adult life, and he talked about that. And I was actually there during that time. Like, you broke down crying. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's wrong. So I didn't know that he was going through it, because he was still going through life, still helping with the kids, still taking care of me and stuff like that. I will say though that once you came out about it, right, and I saw you working on yourself, like, I would see this man just watching podcasts. Mm-hmm. What do you call the little things? Like TED Talks?
TED Talks, yeah.
reading hella books and stuff. And I like saw you transform into a different person, to where it's like, it made me feel like, dang, like, I need to work on myself. Like, I'm not really doing nothing to work on myself. So I say all that to say, before you kind of like got to this self-aware, like, mm-hmm, I really work on myself every day, Ty. Mm-hmm. Like, once you got to that place, I did realize, like, oh shoot, like, I guess certain things kind of started making sense.
Right, exactly.
Certain things, because there will be times, like, in transparency, like, he doesn't really get angry or anything like that, but I feel like sometimes I'm like, is he mad at me?
Moody.
Yeah, moody. That's a good word for it. Like, I felt like,
but it was also that. But I always expressed it in a way of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I try to like explain that to you, and like certain people's like, I don't know, and then like trying to explain it, or just trying to give an example, or just something of some kind. Very, very challenging. So it's like, how are you supposed to know when you can't really explain it?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean,
that sucks.
It's something. It's like a feeling you can't. It's like a feeling you don't know.
Like, you're not familiar with, and you don't hear people really talk about it, so you don't even know what's going on.
Exactly.
Right.
But now, everybody's talking about mental health, and everybody is just open about everything. So now it's like, okay, I know exactly what you mean, or I know exactly what you mean. I only found like a couple people during that time to where they kind of understood. Mm-hmm. People I didn't know, like, yeah, okay, you get it, but they couldn't explain it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right though. Getting to the place where we talk about it, which is why it's so important for us to talk about that here, to let people who are watching know, like, you are not alone if you are experiencing something like this, or if you do so happen to experience something like this in the future and never have. Like, it happens. Like, life has its ebbs and flows, its ups and downs of emotions. If you were happy all the time, would the happiness feel that good when when it finally hits?
It's like the same thing as, like, if everything was easy, you wouldn't appreciate it.
Exactly.
What I mean? So it's the same concept.
Yeah. Not saying that everybody should experience depression to experience life, but I would be lying if I didn't say that experiencing that made me like a better person.
Yeah, for sure, because it's character building.
It definitely builds some damn character, Koo.
It's character building. You got to go through something, some type of adversity. I mean, like, you don't wish, extreme harm or, things of that nature, but you have to experience something
to get to where you are.
Exactly. So, just take, but to round up how I got to where I am, just taking the initiative to want to be better. And to also understand that I have to be in control of me, and I am responsible for me. Like, I'm an individual first and foremost. So I can't take care of anybody else. I can't go and do nothing unless I'm well, right, and in the right state of mind to be able to go out and help and do things.
And you ain't lying, because I'm telling you, in the mornings, like, so for the most part, he'll like get up really early, and he's like, I gotta read real quick. Like, I'll be trying to talk about something. He's like, okay, but I'm gonna go read. And before, I'll be like, dang, like, he ain't trying to talk to me, or he not trying to hang out with me right now. But now that I've kind of like gone through my own process, I respect it so much more. Like, you wanted your alone time to do whatever you gotta do or whatever. I totally understand, and I totally respect it. And because before I'd be like, "Dad, this boy, he's serious about that brain, ain't he?"
Got to, man, yeah, for real. Because if you don't, then you're just going to be in this cycle. Yeah. To be honest, you want to be in the cycle, so you have to put things in place. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I'm just trying to do things. Like this guy on TED Talks, he read. Well, I'm reading. I mean, because you
Yeah.
look like you are well. So
Yeah.
I'll go to read. And
I did that too.
Right.
Like finding people who overcame. Well, you taught me that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to find people that's been in your same place, hear about what they've done to overcome that sadness or that depression or whatever it is, and try to implement some of what they do to see if it works for you. Like you're largely responsible for helping me. Like obviously myself first, because I used to like thank my therapist, like, thank you so much. Like you really, she's like, no, like I'm giving you the tools. You're the one who's choosing to use it. You don't know how many people that choose to not use their tools or choose to sit there and wallow in self-pity.
Exactly.
Instead of like trying. Like granted, there are extreme situations where something is just off and you just need a little bit more help. But like as far as, you know, when something that you can work on to actually fix, she's like, there's a lot of people who just don't try. And the fact that you doing the work, like, girl, that's you. That's not me. And I'm like, you're right. So yes, I appreciate you for giving me a push, but I'm gonna give myself some credit too, because I never give myself any credit.
You got to give yourself credit because, you know, a lot of it is work and a lot of it requires no one. I mean, you have your therapist, right?
Right.
But when that call is over, you have to be responsible to push and do something about it. Like we're not in school anymore to where you come to school and somebody's giving you something, like you have to do it, right?
Right.
This is post school. This is like life starts.
It's all on you.
Yes, it's all on you.
It's all on you.
So to learn more, to want to be better, all of that, you have to be, you just got to take the initiative and you got to do it yourself.
That is very true. And I do have a question for you because we were just talking about how I didn't really know what you were going through, because at the time that you were going through it, I feel like it wasn't a common conversation. Like, yeah, people were talking about it, but not like this. Do you feel like, I don't know, like I could have done better at supporting you when you were going through that? Because me personally, because you were so supportive when I went through it, I know the times were a little bit different, but I be feeling bad sometimes. I'm like, dang, like I feel like I could have been more supportive when he was going through that.
I think it would be unfair for me to say yes, only because you're young too. You don't know what to do like yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you get older and you start looking back in your 20s, even like in your early teens, even though we didn't know each other in our early teens, you really start to reflect on how much you don't know.
Yeah.
Like we think we know a lot during that time. We don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And we still don't know much. I mean, we really want to think about it because there's a lot of people that are in their 40s and 50s. They'd be like, you're babies.
Yeah.
Like you are babies. You guys don't know anything for real. Not to say that we're not smart or anything, but I'm just talking about more so on the emotional level.
Yeah.
The intelligent level, on wisdom and things of that nature. So it'd be unfair to say, yeah, you could have, you know, younger, maybe like if you asked me that question 6-7 years ago, I'm like, yeah, you could have. But you didn't. What were you supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then it's not fair because I didn't even know how to explain it. So
you didn't.
So how can I? You know, I am a very fair person. You know,
you are fair.
So if I can't explain something to do whatever, I'm not going to look at the next man and be like, well, because I feel it doesn't matter if I feel this way. I'm still going to feel this way towards you. No, that's not right. Yeah. So, you know.
Well, I appreciate that because I'm telling you, I don't beat myself up over it, but I have like had moments where I'm like, dang, like it sucks that I didn't have the tools or the knowledge to be as supportive when you were going through that. And I can only imagine how hard and probably lonely that process was for you. Yeah.
I mean, but we all go through our stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was my thing. And there's a lot of life to live. Should God, you know, allow it. There's a lot of life to live. And I'm going to go through more things. And I'm going to be different versions of myself as I get older.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll be a fool to think that, I made it. Like, I'll be a fool to think that because, no, I'm only 34 years old. Like, I have a lot of life to live.
Yeah.
So you know.
So being as though you shared all of that, what are some of your main things? Like, if there's a guy that is watching this that is currently in a rut or like just feeling depressed, that don't know what to do or don't know how to express themselves, what tips do you have for them? Like, what are some things you did?
Well, first and foremost, meditate. Like meditation is one of the keys to clearing your mind and finding some level of peace. and like focusing on one thing. Meditation can be anything for you. It can be focusing on what you got to do for that day, or just focusing on the one thing you need to change about yourself.
So mindfulness, basically,
Yes.
and being present.
Right, you being present. But meditation is important only because it allows you to come down to a level of gravity to where you are by yourself. You got to meditate by yourself with no interference at all, because you just want to be within your own thoughts and to manage your thoughts and be like, okay, this is what it is, cool. Or to just think of nothing and to just be clear and to be peaceful.
Do you know how hard that is?
It is. And that's why meditation is so important, because there's a lot of people that have started meditating. They didn't get to that level until like years later to actually like control their minds on that level.
Yeah.
So I would say meditation and also just reading, because there's a lot of information in books that you can't get in other places.
Yeah.
And just reading helps with the whole connection of just like your thoughts to your mind, to you reflecting, to understanding what you're reading, to going back to it. Like reading is just therapeutic.
Yeah, you always telling me, y'all, he's always suggesting a new book. And honestly, every time they be hitting, he has me reading the Subtle Art of Not Giving a F right now.
That's a good book.
That's a good book. That's a good book. What's the other one I couldn't read because I was too anxious to read it?
The Untethered Soul.
Yeah, The Untethered Soul. That book is so good, y'all. I read it when I was at my most anxious place. So I have to I got to go back. You got to
spin the block because it's a good book. But man, when you're in the actual like anxiety state, depressed state, like right in the thick of it, and you read that book, it'll be a tough book.
It was tough for me because I was the most anxious. I started overthinking everything. Because for me, when I was at that, first of all, I was anxious. I was so anxious, y'all. It was like anxiety and depression. I was so anxious that like the sound of a pin drop would make me like jump. Like any kind of sound would startle me. That's how anxious I was. That's how jacked up my nervous system was. So you can see probably why I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta take something for this. But
it could be other stuff too. I could clear my throat. You'd be like, why are you clearing your throat?
Yes.
It has a different pitch.
I'm like, can you breathe? Can you breathe? Everything okay? I was just like in protection mode. Like I was just like fight or flight. Everything felt like a threat. It was the worst time of my life. And I'm just so glad that I ain't there no more. I'm not there anymore. And even if those times arise, I'm glad that I have the tools to be able to navigate through those difficult situations.
And control is another thing. Some people have like control.
You talking about me?
Well,
you talking about me. Yeah, I'm talking about some in control because I definitely have control issues. I wish I could rewrite the past sometimes.
Can't do it.
I wish I could control the future. And I think that dictates so much of like my day sometimes. And he be having to check me like, that's your control thing. And I'm like, you're right. Like,
and it takes you away from the present.
It takes me away from the present. Spending way too much time worrying about the past or too much time worrying about the future is just, but
for sure.
I'm getting better at it though. I am getting better at it.
So what are some takeaways you think, in terms of like maybe it could be a supportive piece or just some takeaways from just bettering mental health in the year of 2024?
I think first and foremost, if you're going through something, find someone that you can trust and talk to, whether it be a friend, a therapist. I know that it's not as accessible for some people. My therapy is free, and I know that that's not the case for most people, but finding someone that you can talk to first and foremost. And then just doing the work. Like I cannot stress that enough because it's so easy. Like if you find yourself always complaining about being down or whatever, I'm not saying that your situations are not reasons to be down. But if you have, I feel like if you are in the same situation with the same mindset for years upon years, speak to a doctor if you can, or lock in and say, I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna figure this out. Like, I know it's not the easiest thing to get up and work out, but being out of shape it can. And I'm not talking about, don't misconstrue it, big, small, whatever. I'm talking about health.
Clouds of judgment.
It does. Watching the things that I eat. Like now we cook at home probably, I'm going to say 90% of the time, 95 maybe.
Yeah.
We don't really eat out much because when I eat out, I'm not gonna lie, like junk food, I feel it. So just taking the time to do the work, watching what you eat, watching what you're putting into your body, whether it be food or screen time. Like I said, letting those thoughts out, journal, getting some sunlight. Like I work from home and I noticed I wasn't getting enough sunlight. Once I started opening the windows and taking little walks, I started feeling, it just kind of wakes you up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, on another side of it, like if it's something that you worry about, like I know for me, I'll beat myself up about something I did when I was 5. And I know that I don't do that as much anymore, but I would go back to all my mistakes and play them over. Like, oh, do I think I said it like that? Learning to give yourself some grace.
Forgiving yourself.
Forgive yourself. Because most of the time, it's not even that deep. It's really not that deep. And at the end of the day, we are not perfect humans. Like I had to that was one of the biggest takeaways for me, realizing that I am not perfect. I am not picture perfect. I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to make more mistakes. Mm-hmm. But allowing myself to giving myself the grace that I would give to somebody else. Like I'm forgiving. Why can't I be that way with myself? Mm-hmm. I am now. I'm learning that now, but it's just like that was the biggest piece. One of the biggest takeaways for me is just self-forgiveness. I'm glad we got to talk about this though, because like you said, it's important that we talk about it more. We are definitely going to put some resources in the description of this video, just in case anyone is watching needs this. And just remember that you're not alone. You are not alone and you can overcome.
For sure.
But this is going to be a hard shift though. We're going from mental health to hot topics. Hot topics. But yeah, let's get into it. I got to pull it up. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, boom. Draymond. So I'm seeing reports that Draymond Green with the Golden State Warriors is expected to return soon. Apparently he's going to be back in the facility soon if he hasn't already been now shooting around or whatever. And just in case you forgot, he was indefinitely suspended after a flagrant 2 foul against Yusuf Nurkic. There's been a couple other things he's done, but that's what got him his little indefinite suspension.
Exactly.
Do you think it's too... Wait, let me remind y'all of a couple other things this man has done, okay? He has punched his teammate, Jordan Poole, smack in the face. Just straight disrespect. Like, I don't think... Like, anytime I see Jordan Poole face, I think of him getting punched by Draymond. Sure. Am I tripping?
I'm sure most people do.
Does that happen for you? I just feel sorry for him.
He hasn't been the same since.
Yeah. No, facts. And it's so sad. He should never assaulted that man. He has kicked Steven Adams in the crotch. Hit. I won't say kick. I think he hit him. I don't think it was a kick. Was it a kick?
Nah, it was a kick.
It was a kick.
It was an extra move.
Hit LeBron in the balls.
Facts.
And just if y'all keep up with basketball, y'all know that there have been many other offenses by this man. Do you think it is too soon for Draymond to return back into the games, back into the lineup, back into play? What do you think?
Well, it depends on who you ask. But if you ask the Golden State Warriors, it look like they need him. But
they need something right now.
They need a rough rider.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm asking Ty, you.
I don't think that Draymond needs clinical evaluation. I think that Draymond actually knows what he's doing. I think he did it on purpose. Now, I think in that moment, I don't think he thought that it was going to be that egregious. But at the same time, because you have a history, I think he needs to sit down a little longer. I
agree. I thought you were going to say he needed to come back. It's time.
I don't know. I think you need to really think about some things because it's like, dude, like, come on now.
Yeah. And it's to add to what you said. I don't think that he thought it was going to be such a big hit. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it is in your nature to do that without thinking, it's not one of those things where the game is flowing, bodies are flowing, and you can't stop it because those things happen.
For sure.
That ain't that.
It was a hook to the ear, like
a split second you took to just, I feel like he just doesn't think. Like he does. He either doesn't or doesn't think. Regardless, I think that he needs to stay out longer because, sir, as of right now, it'll be more by then. But I think he's been out of 12 games so far.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a little bit. What is 12 games in a what 80-something game season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because like even with Ja Morant with the gun thing, he was out for 25 games.
Exactly.
Like, you're out here actually hitting people.
Actually committing real offenses. Not saying that Ja, shouldn't, whatever. He should have been punished for whatever. It's already done. Draymond, sir, you have real offenses here.
Nah, for sure. I think that if it was me, I'm sitting him for the rest of the year. Just to really, really let him think about what's going on.
Yeah.
And come back next season. It's like, dude, you really need to think about your actions.
Yeah.
Because this is a bit too much now. And if we don't do anything about this, then you're going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because he's a repeat offender. Like, this is what you're known for at this point. Like, when I think Draymond, I think, like, that's just how I view him. Like, that's my first thought.
Always arguing with the refs. It's always aggressive. And I don't think it's all bad. It's just that the things that
sometimes he gets carried away.
He gets carried away.
And oddly enough, I like him.
Yeah,
I like him. I'm not saying I'm his biggest fan. He ain't no LeBron. But I like him. I wish he could just... Because I think it brings some like entertainment to the game.
It does. And I mean, it helps that Warriors team.
Yeah.
It helps because he's like he's the dirty work person.
But it's like at the same time, baby boy.
My God.
You were a grown man. Grown man.
Draymond.
So takeaway is that too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Too soon. Yeah, Draymond bugging out. Yeah, too soon. We talking about like after April Fool's Day at least. Like,
no,
you
fact.
Sit for a little bit. Like, you're tripping.
He's tripping. Next topic. Okay, so shout out to EYL. I love keeping up with Earn Your Leisure. And I've kind of already known about this before they shared it because obviously I'm in like the social media space. But TikTok Shop, I don't know if you're familiar. I know you're not a TikTok person, but TikTok Shop has entered the e-commerce space. This happened, I believe, in September of 2023. And their goal is to increase their size tenfold with a revenue goal of $17.5 billion in 2024. So basically what they've done is they've integrated a shopping feature into the app, which allows its users to shop while you're scrolling. So I don't know if you've opened TikTok recently, but I feel like TikTok Shop is taking over. Do you feel like I feel like it's too much. First of all, I don't even like the app anymore. But do you feel like they're trying to compete with Amazon?
They're definitely trying to compete with Amazon and somebody else. I forgot, but I think that they are trying to dabble into things that they don't necessarily understand fully because some of the products aren't good from what I understand.
Yes, I heard that.
Exactly. So you have people on TikTok saying, "Okay, guys, like I get it," and it seems like you're either getting paid or something for you to rant about this product. Is it actually good?
Well, I think it's because it's incentive. So like when people are sharing like on their TikTok shop, they get a percentage of what people are buying. So, well, like I do think that there's like a little ring light and stuff that I've seen people use, like the TikTok 98-cent ring light or whatever it is. And it seems to really do its thing for people who record on their phones and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not a fan. I think it ruins the overall experience of the app. And I just feel like, I mean, Amazon got their own little problems too, child.
Yeah, they do. But from, not to cut you off, but
no, you're fine.
I will say this: they do have social media on their side, and what I mean by that is they already have like a customer centric type of deal. So, but it's how I look at it. If I come to your place for something and you try to throw me something else, it's distasteful because that's not why I'm here.
Right.
I'm here to be informed about certain things that's going on in the world, not to buy products.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to Amazon to do that.
Right.
If you're trying to compete with Amazon, I don't know how far you'll go with that. I mean, like, I get this an ambitious goal, but at the same time, I feel like they're trying to throw something out to just make it stick.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now,
I think they're just trying to get that money.
They're just trying to get their money. Exactly. Now, they are TikTok. right? And if you can get enough people to buy in, then it'll work. But at the same time, it's like, are you really going to be that efficient? Like, are you going to be trustworthy? Because Amazon, while they have been getting some backlash a little bit about, like, you know, some of their employees and just how they overwork certain people, you do get your products on time.
You sure do.
They are pretty good according to what the reviews say.
Yeah.
Now you have a lot of people with mixed reviews about, like, is this product really good? Is it not? I see that a lot. So I think that's going to be their downfall a little bit, to try to polish up that, because I don't necessarily see how that's going to work, especially when your program was for something else. And they're trying to compete with YouTube as well, right? Or am I tripping?
I feel like they are. I don't think they've said that, but I think they're like pushing longer form content and stuff like that. Like TikTok is just losing. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan anymore. I just feel like they're just shoving product down my throat. And I get it. You got to have your little ad space, but I feel like they need to balance that stuff out. Like, it's not balanced, because I can't sit up. You're giving people a free app. You can't tell these people that they can't make money when you're using their free app to get entertained. However, it's the shoving down of the throat for me. Like, can we have a little balanced TikTok? Can you maybe put the shop somewhere else off to the side, or just occasional? Like, every time I open the app, it's just shop here, shop.
Exactly. Create a little icon for them on the side so that people can have the option to click it.
Yeah,
to then go and shop. But to just throw it, you know what I mean? To just throw it out in their face, you know, that's a bit.
Yeah, I guess that's the only way it would work. So maybe they just need to get rid of TikTok. They just need to get rid of TikTok Shop.
Yeah, just get rid of it, because again, though, you know, it is TikTok. Money is power.
Yeah.
You got enough money, you can make things shake.
Yeah, I still don't think some might disagree, but I still don't think that they have anything on Amazon, because I could order at 9 and get my item by 2.
Facts.
Okay. So
Facts.
They're not there yet. But next, moving right along, child, these people, if this is your church, I am sorry. Not sorry. Okay. The Dream Center Church in Atlanta went viral around New Year's Eve or New Year's for having members of the church swag surfing during the New Year's Eve service, child.
Jesus. You want to know what's crazy?
What?
I guarantee you that pastor, not only is he behind it, but he's probably in the mindset of, like, you can't tell me how to serve my God.
Yeah. and I, you know what though? I could see people being like, I mean, but it's bringing the young people in. So many people were touched that night. You know, I can see that perspective. However, I feel like there's a time and a place. Like, they'll be like, but y'all swag, sir. I don't know if people are saying this, but I'm saying, I know somebody is going to try to justify it and say, but y'all swag surf on the weekends at the club, and then y'all turn around and come to church. Yes. And I cuss on the weekend, but I don't cuss when I'm clocked in at work, do I?
There's a time and a place.
It's a time and a place. And it's just like, if you can have this level of respect for your place of employment, where you're not in here cutting up and cussing up a storm and doing whatever, why can't you have that respect for the Lord's house?
I'm on hypnotic, exotic.
That's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like, look, we should put some of the words from the lyrics up here, but it's just like, there is a time and a place. I'm not judging people for how they live their life. If you want to swag surf on Saturday and praise the Lord on Sunday, listen, do what you do. But I just think the swag surfing in the house of the Lord.
I'm talking about the entire church was like,
I saw the video.
Old and young
and old. Just a swagging and a surfing. I get that is the anthem. Sometimes a little bit of an anthem for us, but at the same time, I feel like it's disrespectful, and I feel like people try to come up with reasons to justify why it's okay to cut up in church. Like, maybe I'm a little old fashioned. I don't know. But I feel like that's unacceptable.
Nah, it is. That's a bit distasteful. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean,
it is beyond distasteful.
That was a bit much, man. I can't stop thinking about it, because it's like the entire church. It's not a small church either.
No, it's not. It looked like one of those mega churches.
At least 10,000.
So it's just like, you know, and I was about to say, I'm not judging like the pastor, or whoever was leading at the time, but I kind of am a little bit, because it's just like
he's behind it, because you see him on the podium.
Well, I wanted to say I'm not judging, but I'm judging a little bit, because I would not go to your church. Like, I know that churches can be flawed and, you know, things happen sometimes or whatever. Like, nobody is perfect, right? But baby, if you swag surfing during your service, that is not the house that I need to be in.
Just imagine you telling yourself, let me go get the word today. And you walk up into this church and they swag surf. Yeah, would have been a sight, boy. That would have been a sight.
No, facts. Let me know what y'all think about that though, because I'm curious. I'm glad you're on. See, look, I'm glad you're on my. I'm glad you're on my side with this one because what? I would have been side eyeing you like, baby. Now you know you did not come up like that at your church. I'm not gonna say the name of your church, but you know they did not act like that up in your church.
Not
Swag
like that.
surfing.
I mean, there was some things, but not like that.
There was some things, but not that type of thing.
Not like this.
No, I feel you.
This was different.
That was very different. Let me know if y'all think that it is acceptable to swag surf with those lyrics. Look up the lyrics.
And the laws.
And I would look, you know, we both HBCU grind, so we gonna swag and we gonna surf, just not in the house of the Lord.
In the house of the Lord.
Not in the house of the Lord. I'm a respect the Lord in His house.
He swag surfing, then he's turning around and preaching after that.
Child, I can't. I can't.
But you know, that's just me though.
That's just me.
Might be we might be in the minority here.
We might be. Look, we just might be. We just might be in the minority. But that is not okay. Let me know what y'all think about swag surfing in the name of Jesus.
In the name
of the Lord.
In the name of the Lord.
Stop.
Yeah, let me stop. Cut
it out. Okay, that is it for our hot topics of the day. It's time to switch focus. Look, now we have to keep doing it every episode now.
What's that?
Apply that pressure. We interrupt this apply that pressure to bring you breaking news. The NBA, it's crazy that this is happening while we're filming. The NBA has officially reinstated Draymond Green after a 12-game suspension. We ain't gonna get into it, but you already know where we stand.
Yeah, but just real quick, what if he hit somebody the next game?
No! Go ahead and kick this man out the league. But anyway, let's refocus. Apply that pressure, baby. Baby, you need to go first because I went first the last times.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
You better go ahead. I might just go ahead. Just jump into it.
So you want me to ask you first?
Yes.
All right.
You know, I'd be scared of your questions.
It's not that bad this week.
Okay. Mine aren't either. I kept it cute.
What is one thing that you'll never do again? Something that you were ashamed of, you'll never do again.
Gosh, I feel like I have a few things. Something that I will never do again. I don't know. I feel like I would never not put myself first because that sounds selfish.
No, say we speak. Stand
but
on business.
I'ma stand on it. But I feel like I spent most of my life like being not a people pleaser, but kind of. I feel like I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah. Okay.
In a sense. Like down to, but I like doing nice things for people though. But to separate from that, I'm a people pleaser. And sometimes it makes me put myself dead last. Like somebody can ask me for something, like some money. Mm-hmm. And I don't do this anymore because I've grown, but I would give it to them and do without.
Yeah. And
it's just kind of like, girl, like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why are you always putting people before yourself? And I don't do things to get anything back in return. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I realize like, dang, like the extent in which I do things for people, I cannot rely on people the way that people are allowed to lean on me. And I still want people to be able to lean on me, of course, but it's just like, why was I stretching myself so far when I don't even have that many people that would stretch 1/10 of that way for me.
For sure.
You know, like I'ma still continue to do things for people because it's number one in my nature. I feel like that's a little genetic in a sense because my mom's like that.
Mm-hmm.
But keeping that balance.
Yeah, for sure.
And not overextending myself for people anymore. Like, I think my biggest part was money. Like, once I got to a place where I was comfortable, I'm like, come on, take this. Take this money. It's my money. It's all of our money. And it's just like, no, it is not. That's how you end up broke.
For sure.
That is how you end up broke. So I'm like, no, I'm done with that. Like, I'ma still do nice things for people, but nah.
It's crazy. A lot of people don't agree with that. They be like, you get money for to help your peoples.
Yeah, but to what extent? Like, I'm always help people. Because if I don't, then I feel like I'm just stepping away from like my heart.
No, for sure. But it got to be some balance though.
Has to be some balance.
Boundaries.
Yeah. There'll be many times where Ty would have to reel me in. He's like,
we're not doing that.
Yeah. Like, no, baby girl, we're not doing that. That is our money. Like, you're tripping. Like, what are you doing? We have kids. And I'm like, you're right. But, you know, I just want them to experience nice things too.
No one ain't gonna be reciprocated.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it not being reciprocated, but it's just like the balance piece. Like you don't have to do anything for me, but I realize like, dang, maybe I do take it way too far. That's all I'm saying. Okay, boom. My question to you: tell me about your drunkest moment.
I'll tell you two. No, I can't tell you the other one. I'll tell you.
No, you can tell me the other one. Tell it. Because it sounds like it was the worst one. Full disclaimer, he barely drinks now. He might drink some wine, but
yeah, you know, I drink wine and everything. You know? But I will say, all right, boom. You know this story very well. I don't know why even. The night at Chapel Hill. You gotta tell the people. The night at Chapel Hill, it's me, my homeboy, and his wife.
You really gonna tell that one?
That's not.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you telling me there was another time?
The one you told me about. Your very first time, but you don't have to. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
It's probably no. Okay, go ahead.
So I'll tell you both real quick. I'll make it quick. So the very first time, you know, my very first time, you know, I'm drinking or whatever, I don't feel anything. I'm like, man, dang, like why do I always see people like, you know, doing the most when they drink whatever? Long story short, I took a step, boom, hit the floor. Got up, I'm saying all kind of jokes and stuff. Like my friends are looking at me like, well, what is wrong with you? Going crazy. My girlfriend at the time, I'm calling her, I'm like, you know I love you, right? You know I love you so much. So I was saying things I would never.
And weren't you young? You don't have to say how old you were, but weren't you young?
I was young.
And that was your first time drinking, right?
Very first time. I was wilding. Okay. I'm saying things. I'm like, you know, I love you. I'm just all kind of stuff. I'm like, yo, what is this about, yo? Had a hangover the next day at 2. I wake up. I'm in somebody else's bed and stuff. It was just a horrible experience. And when I really think about it.
Oh my God. Wait, you need to clear up that I'm in somebody else's bed.
No. I mean, like, like I'm at people's house. I know, but I just didn't expect to sleep where I slept. Mm-hmm. But I'm in a safe environment. You know?
I didn't know him at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody put me to bed though. I had my socks off. I was changed. I'm like, yo, this is kind of like.
Your friends held you down though.
No, they did. They held me down. But that's the very first time. But the next time, we was in Chapel Hill, Franklin Street. You know, Franklin Street be lit. Certain parts.
But we were in college. It was lit. Wait, were we in college?
We were in college.
Okay.
Were we in college?
You were in your last semester.
Oh, okay. I was okay. That's what it. Dang. Okay. And you know, the ladies decided to say, you know what, you guys do your thing. You know, we chilling or whatever.
Shout out to Truman and Maya.
Shout out to Truman and Maya. Man, we had a time, yo. I'm talking about had a time. Yeah. Hey, keep them coming.
Yeah.
Keep the tab open. Don't close it until it's 2:00 in the morning. Don't close. We lit. We ain't driving nothing. Oh my God. I'm eating things I would never eat on a regular day basis. Like we're in the back seat. They're driving in the front seat.
Yeah. So the girls had decided we weren't going to drink. We were like, y'all just,
and we was having the time of our
y'all
lives.
really were.
And you know, but after that, we went our separate ways. We're going home. We were living. I can't remember where we were at.
In our apartment.
Right. And she had to help me in the house. Everything. I'm like, I'm walking.
If someone didn't know you, they would think you were good because you were walking like regular, but you were walking to the wrong door.
Hey man, listen.
I was like, babe, we live over here.
I remember a lot of that night too. Like I remember a lot of it, but I never. Like I don't get that way. Like,
no, that was the only time I feel like I've ever truly even seen you drunk. For real.
Yeah, for real. Because any other time, it's like
you'd be tapping on. I'm good.
I'd be capping it off, or like I'm just chilling, whatever the case may be. But I don't just be out here wilding. Okay, but that night
you had a good time. You were dancing.
It wasn't even a special experience.
You were eating McDonald's.
I was doing everything. I was doing everything, yo. There was another time, but no, I wasn't drunk though. It was more so like, because I don't normally eat fast food, but you know, it's like some of the best food to eat when you try to like
that cookout food.
And me and your best friend was eating them Whoppers. We was coming back from like Ocean City.
I don't remember that.
Oh my God. We were the only two that got food. And we were looking at each other like, man, was your food, was it good? I need another one.
No, that drunk food be tasting that
be different, man.
Yeah,
it'd be 100% different, but yeah, it's not a lot of times though.
Yeah,
I'm
that
so
Chapel Hill time was the only time I'm like, okay.
That Chapel Hill time was off the chain.
I will say though that even though you were drunk, at least you weren't like annoying or like sloppy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. It was just that I'm just a different.
You was just happy.
Yeah.
You was laying in the bed like this. You was like
Floating.
You were just waltzing into the bed like, I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm like, boy, floating. Go to bed.
Floating.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough of that. Okay, you did. Okay, I got one for you. What is the worst assumption someone has made about you?
Worst
assumption someone has made about you?
Gosh, I feel like that's a hard question. I feel like a common assumption, I won't say it's like the worst, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I think a lot of the times people assume that I'm super bougie, and I don't like that. I don't like. Granted, I am bougie in some areas. I'm not gonna lie.
How you gonna say that? And then
in some areas, like as far as, but I think that people assume that I'm snooty, or like just because I like to eat a certain way when I go out, that I'm a look. If you want to eat your chicken nuggets, eat your chicken nuggets. Like, ain't nothing wrong with eating chicken nuggets. I'm just saying, I'm not traveling to eat chicken nuggets. But if that's what you want to do, that's fine. You can order the chicken nuggets. I'm gonna order this steak.
The ribeye.
Steak. I'm gonna order my filet. Like. That's just what it is. But I just don't like that, because I know that people assume that, because when they finally get around me, they're like, oh, I didn't know you were like this. I thought you were stuck up. I've been getting that I feel like my whole life, like at least from like high school, even like transferring to a new school. I think people like made a lot of assumptions about me. Like maybe I was like really uptight or whatever. And they're like, oh, people will really say like, oh, you're actually fun. even some of your some of your families, if y'all watching this, just told me the other day, like
a few months ago.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we thought you were like,
wasn't too far.
They didn't say bougie, but like I think they made those kind of assumptions that maybe I was probably a little bit uptight, or not a lot of fun.
Huh? They straight up told you.
They did, but we're at the place where they can tell me that now. But I was like, dang, y'all really thought that? It doesn't really annoy me, but it's just like, damn, what am I doing to make people think that I am so bougie that y'all always come out and tell me, oh, you're the complete opposite of what I thought. I'm like, damn, well, what did you think? What did you think? What were you thinking? Like,
I don't know why it's funny, because it's like, it's very true.
Am I lying?
Nah.
I experience that all the time. And it's just like, yes, I do have, like, especially as I get older, and I am stuck on the things that I like, period. This is my experience. I'm a travel a certain way, or just because I like to do certain things. I don't even do this in all areas, but as far as the way I travel and the way I eat when I'm going out to eat,
Those are the main two things, though.
those are the only two things.
Yeah, it's the only two things.
It's not like I, got all these things, like all these materials, and I look down on people who don't got what I got. I'm not like that. So that's the only reason why it kind of gets under my.
You should want to eat what you want to eat.
Whatever,
Go where you want to go.
No, but for real though, like
feel
I
me?
should. But yeah, that'll probably be it. People assuming that I'm bougie. I think I'm a little. I'm a little bougetto.
Okay, just a little bit though.
A little bougetto.
Just a little.
So you think I'm bougie?
How they put the cheese on the Parmesan? Be like, you want more? Mm-hmm. Just a little sprinkle.
So I'm a sprinkle, but is it? Let me ask you this, which I can totally accept that I have some bougie tendencies, a little bit, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
You want to know which one? Go ahead.
No, I don't want to know which one. But is it to the point where, what people assume, like to where it's like annoying or distasteful? You can be honest.
Nah.
Why are you laughing then?
It's not because I can't get. This is one thing in my head. It's not bad at all.
You can say it. I don't care. We supposed to keep it a band on here. Go ahead.
When the waiter is like, water, I take sparkling.
What? Look. Okay. What is wrong with drinking sparkling water? What?
But
people always make fun of me for that. Like, you always drinking that nasty ass sparkling water, but
sparkling buzz, yo. I'm sorry.
Does.
It does. It buzz, but it's just hilarious only because that's what I think about.
I think a lot of people do. I went out to eat with my line sister the other day. She was like, "You want that sparkling water?" And Vanjie was like, "She wants sparkling water. Sparkling water."
Sparkling water.
Yeah, but I just like sparkling water.
Bring the bottle out and everything. No.
The other water be tasting like sinkhole. They be bringing out that sinkhole water. I don't want that.
Oh my god!
I don't need to taste metal pipe.
Or like Perry's though. Perry's be like, we filter this water 4
times.
It is,
yeah,
4 times.
I think it's 3 times.
But regardless, 4, man. It's like we filter it 1 time and then we do it again because it gets and then we do it 1 more time.
Yeah, I'll drink that. But I'm still gonna get the sparkling water every time if they got it.
Nah, I get that Perry's filtered though.
Yeah, no, it's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer sparkling water. I have we have sparkling water in the house all the time. I just like sparkling water.
No, I got you. I'm just no.
Don't let me go grab a bottle.
For sure. No. I mean, if anything, it's just a little hand,
It's a little hand.
Just a little.
It's a little bougie.
Just a little salt. What's a guy? Salt-based sprinkle. That's all. Just a little.
Just a sprinkle of bougie.
That's it.
Okay. Next question. So my question to you is this. Let's see. Which one do I want to ask? Biggest turn on.
Biggest turn on?
Yeah. Is that much? Is that too much?
Nah. Like your scent.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing, right?
Very, very weird.
I think it's normal.
I need to ask your dad if he be sniffing your mom because
it's like we hugging or something. I just sniff a little bit. I'm talking about like maybe like her edges or hair.
He be sniffing right here, y'all.
It's just I don't know, man.
He
it's
just
like
be smelling me.
Everybody has their unique scent. If you're around somebody long enough, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You have like your unique scent. So you telling me I don't have a unique scent?
I don't think you have a unique scent.
That's crazy.
But I feel like your nostrils are different. Like
so I'm basic. I'm default.
No, it's not that you're. I will say this. Can I just say that you've been smelling good? Like
I know I be
very low
good,
odor, which I appreciate the fact that you take care of your hygiene. He be doing the most, y'all. This man's. I mean, I think it's cute though.
What you mean? I mean, listen, I gotta take
this man's facial routine. Like it's more extensive than mine. I be feeling like the toner and
that's because it's like with
oil
guys
and the moisturizer and then the beard oil, the beard conditioner.
Our skin is a lot tougher.
No,
it is though. So it's like hard to penetrate with your hands. You gotta do a little extra.
No, that's just what you told yourself in your head.
That's research. You feel me? That's
Pull it up.
scientific study.
I need to see it. I need to see
That's
it.
scientific study.
No, maybe the beard area because y'all have. Well, maybe that's what you're talking about because y'all have like hair bearing areas on your face.
You feel me?
So,
But
he be doing the most.
nah, I just like to take care of myself. That's all.
But you be smelling good.
You feel
You
me?
always smell, but you don't have a set scent. It's just that you always.
You know what? Maybe that's what it is. You know, maybe because I'm always like what do you call it? What is the word? I don't know, but because I smell good all the time, you can't really get like the true.
Sir, you don't have a smell.
The true.
You don't have a scent.
You feel me?
You don't have a scent. I don't know
That's
what
crazy.
this scent is that I have, but
I'm telling you, man. Listen, I'm telling you. So not to be. I'm just saying, like, if you just study the animal kingdom, you see it there too.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, there's just certain things.
I mean, I know that part. I know the whole how animals and the smells, and I guess we are our own little
Right,
species.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like we are mammals.
Well, I'm glad to know that I be smelling good.
You feel me? Just gotta, you know.
Next question.
Oh yeah, I got you. So,
Don't you listen?
do you see a difference in having sex and making love?
Yeah,
What's the difference?
I feel like the line is kind of like it can. I don't know. There's a difference though.
Okay.
There's a difference. I feel like what Sexy Red say? You could go pound town. That ain't making love. That's just like having sex.
Got you. Okay.
But making love is all like there's like a lot of passion and a lot of like kissing and touching and caressing. You can feel the zzz. You can feel the zzz. You know the little current through your body.
The currents.
Yeah. So I feel like that's
Okay.
I feel like lovemaking is like more slow all the well, for the most part, more slow, more passion, more feelings that make you want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Make you want to cry. That's very dramatic. I have felt like that before. Like, I just love this man so much.
Cool.
I do. I have felt like that before.
Got you.
But yeah,
it's just Pound Town.
Pound Town. That's 7-6.
Got you. Okay.
You taking it too far. I did not expect you to ask me something like that this week, but gotcha.
Hey, listen.
Gotcha. So my question to you, my last question.
Make it
If
good,
you,
no?
huh?
I just said make it good.
It's
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
If you can change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? Didn't you ask me something similar?
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, okay.
I didn't.
No, you didn't. That was an assumption about people. Never mind. Go ahead.
Dang, if I could change one thing about myself.
Oh, you perfect.
No, I'm not, but Jesus. I don't know. Maybe like a little more ambitious in a sense. I mean, like I'm saying,
We ain't never gonna have no time together.
that's I'm saying, I mean, it can kind of like it's paired to with what I was saying in the beginning about retaining information faster. So I guess in that sense, but if that was one thing I could change, it would be that, like being more ambitious with like I learn things, right? I retain things, but maybe retain it faster. Being more ambitious with just information so that I can like put together and
Babe,
this. What?
that's a bit much.
What you mean?
I mean, how much more do you? I feel like this. Maybe it's because you be reading and stuff. I mean, how much more do you want to retain?
You can always do more. You can always do more. In a sense.
You can always do more, but my God, balance.
I think I have balance.
Yeah, kind of.
I think I have.
No, you do. You do have balance, but I feel like anything else.
I'm
Sir.
saying like sometimes when I shut it off, man, I feel guilty for shutting it off because I feel like if I could have given an extra hour, I'm serious.
I can relate to that, but I'm gonna shut it off. I'm asleep.
You know, you say that, and you do the total opposite of what you saying.
That's true, but I do be sleep
I
sometimes.
wake up and the room is lit.
Babe, but I slept today, didn't I?
Okay.
And I slept in Maryland. That was 2 days in the last.
You're right. In the last, what, 7 months?
Yeah, but still.
Listen to yourself. Yeah, but still.
Okay, well, I guess is that such a bad thing?
No, it's not. So you see how when them tables turn,
when the tables turn, now it's new rules.
See, you feel me?
Is it such a bad thing to be ambitious?
It's not. I wish I could be a little more ambitious, and like I said.
Okay, so I take that back. I apologize for judging.
Because exactly. So, because when them tables turn, you see yourself. Well,
you are kind of right,
and I feel like I have balance.
You do kind of
shift the balance a little bit.
You do kind of.
Yeah, and just to be a little more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You'll
the thing
get there.
too. For sure.
You'll get there.
Sure.
I'm really proud of you. I always tell you that, but
for sure.
I gotta tell you I'm proud of you because I am. But good talk. Good talk.
Yo, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Real Cozy Talks.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Make sure y'all subscribe, dang it. And subscribe to our channel.
Follow us on the gram, the book, Facebook, and TikTok as well.
And cheers. We got cheers.
We got cheers. Until next time. Peace.